first time Professor Yung suggested my summer project, the only thing came to my mind was, I can't do it. The plan was to write a program controlling the movements of the microscope stage, so that the microscope could take pictures of only spots that we really care. It sounded like some Mission Impossible to me. The truth is, at the beginning of this summer, when I first joined the research group, it was the first time I saw a motorized microscope stage. Before that, I didn't even know that stage could move. Besides, all my knowledge about programming is using Matlab to draw some analytical graphs. Therefore, my only thought about that project was, I can't do it. But Professor Yung encouraged me. You could still think about it. Don't be afraid of failing. We'll take the risk for you. So, finally, it turns out that I can do it, and I can do it well. Now with my program, we could get the exact chamber of our device based on its row and column number. And more than that, I also wrote some other image processing programs. Here I will introduce the most impressive two of them. The first one could count the number of fluorescent cells in our device and indicate their positions with a rectangle surrounding them. The second one could measure the migration distance of cells in small channels. I once tried to measure them manually, and it took a minute to measure 4 cells. With the program, we could measure more than 200 cells in less than 1 second. I have to say challenges do occur, especially when I got started with my first program. It seemed like there were so many barriers, and even if you managed to pass one, another one will pop out immediately. During a weekend, I spent almost every waking hour trying to generate a file storing the position information that could be recognized by the microscope software. When I finally got a file that looked exactly the same as the file generated by the software itself, I was really excited. Then I tested that file, but failed. The software cannot even read the first line of it. I was frustrated. It felt like I was still thousands of miles away from finishing that microscope program. Yet I could not even solve the problem right ahead of me. That night, I stopped all my work and had a good rest. The next day, I realized that in fact I don't need to be afraid of failing. Professor Yung already told me to forget the risk of failing. That made me feel a lot better, and I started to focus on solving the problem right ahead of me, rather than worrying about the distant goal. The more problems I solved, the more confident I was, and the more capable I became of solving the next problem. When all the problems were solved, the final goal was achieved. The process is also rewarding. I still remember how excited I was when the rectangles surrounding the fluorescent cells appeared for the first time. I was so excited that I literally ran out of my lab. It was 8 on a Monday morning. I ran around the 4th floor of X building and then came back. You never know what you are capable of unless you are given the opportunity to discover it. I really thank Professor Yung and the SURE program for giving me that precious opportunity.